Hey guys, welcome to the team call. We do this call every not Monday, that's a long time ago. Thursdays at 7 o'clock Central Time. So that's 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern. And then the people in the mountains, who knows what time it is over there. But it's going to be super excited for this call this evening. We've had Danielle talk before, and Cody was actually doing something else, and she was like, my face is burning. Like I told you right now, my face is burning. If you're watching the recording, just tough luck. You'll just have to wonder why my face is burning. But Cody was listening to Danielle talk one time while she was doing Cody was doing something else, and she's like, I really like that girl. Who's that girl? And so it's entertaining. It's informative, and it's just really, I'm frozen again. It's really fun to hear her, but I have to stop talking because I'm frozen.
Try turning your video off.
All right, I'm gonna turn my video off then. What in the world? Okay.
I can totally take it if you want me to. Oh, I think he's gone. Is he gone? Is he still there?
All right.
Please just take it. Okay, Danielle Doan, everybody. Oh. Danielle Doan.
I'm just going to jump in here. It totally works for me. All right, so I recognize some of you, but for those that don't know me, I am Danielle Doan. I have been a coach for 9 years. I've been such a blessing to my family. I do this full time. And over the years, I have had to shift and pivot. And I think for those of you that are new coaches, if I can just encourage you, if anything, just keep being willing to learn and grow, because the way I started this business is not the way I'm still running this business. Social media is constantly changing. Beachbody is constantly changing. We cannot adapt and learn and grow and be willing to learn and do new things, then we're going to just be stuck. The dinosaurs became extinct because they couldn't adapt. I don't know, but don't be that person. Be willing to learn, be willing to change. I can be very resistant to change sometimes. I don't like it. I remember when I switched over to Instagram, I was like, I don't need Instagram, doing fine on Facebook. I can run everything on Facebook. And then I was like, man, I think I need to learn Instagram. And when I did, dove right in. I am going to just purpose to learn this. And, there are others Instagram, that Reels just came up recently. And when it did, I was like, oh my gosh, something new. I don't want to, but I dove right in because we have to be constantly adapting and learning. So I just want to kind of start first with the basics. I know, how many of you are newer coaches? So maybe like brand new, 6 months a year. How many just wait at me? Yeah. And honestly, I've been trying to challenge myself to post 3 times a day on Facebook. It's a different platform, but I don't know if you listen to the National Wake Up Call. I can't even remember who it was that said it, but she said she posts 3 times a day on Facebook and her business is booming through Facebook. And I thought, man, I have neglected that venue. There are still people there I believe I have to reach and help. So I'm going to show up there. But Instagram is my jam. Okay. I love it. If you have not switched over to Instagram, you are missing out on fun, connection, community, and just so much. The opportunity there for growth is exponential. It's easier than Facebook because you don't have to be friends with people, okay? And I love it. I find it amazing. So I want to give you some tips. How many of you are on Instagram? You just wave at me. I don't know. I like interaction. I like being in this together. Okay. How many of you feel like, yeah, you're like rocking Instagram? You rocking it? Woo! I love it. Okay. Some of you are like, no. So Instagram can be a little different, but I want to encourage you and teach you just a few things that have worked for me. When I started on Instagram, I had 1,000 followers. Okay. I did, it was like, I knew quite a few people, I'd kind of expanded my network, or I had followed a lot and got some follows back. And I tried to do a few methods I'd learned about connecting. But it wasn't until I really decided to just dig in and be consistent and show up and add value that it started to grow. And the growth on Instagram can be exponential. That is also the beauty of it. Part of it is finding your niche. And I know that you hear that a lot, and it's like, find your niche. Who's your avatar? Who are you speaking to? Who can you help? And that can be totally overwhelming, right? Anybody else? Like, you guys can chat. Like, have you found your niche? Do you guys know what your niche is? Do you know who you're speaking to every single day when you show up? Do you? Okay. Like, some of you figured that out. You know who you're talking to. Some of you, it's like, I don't know. And we're all over the place. And a lot of social media experts right now are saying you have to have one niche, one thing you post about. And I don't necessarily like hold to that, because I'm kind of all over the place sometimes still, but I do have a main focus on my Instagram. If you follow me, Curly Fit Mom, you are going to see all about hair. Okay. I jumped all in a few years back. Actually, it was 2 years ago. And I was like, hey, they're saying go for your niche. I'm going to try it. And if you look at my Instagram, you will see some before and after pictures, because I'm Curly Fit Mom, so I can squeeze that in there. You won't see me talk a lot about coaching on my feed, but in my stories, man, I just blow it up. I talk about all the things. And really, it's almost like my Instagram is my first part of the funnel. It's where I collect the people so I can then share and get to know them, form the relationship, and transition them over into customers and then eventually coaches. And I dove into this curly girl world. And when I did, I learned a few things about Instagram. And the beautiful thing is, there are so many amazing niches out there that you can jump into and learn from. And I learned about Instagram from the curly girl world. So I can share a few tips that I've learned, and we can talk a little bit if you have questions about finding your niche. I can give you some like ideas and examples, but the first thing I want to share is what do you enjoy when you're not doing like the coaching thing? When you're not, if you were to just sit down as an Instagram consumer and you would just, like sitting there scrolling at night when you want to chill and relax, what do you gravitate towards? What do you like looking at? You can put it in the chat too. What are some things that you like looking at when you're on Instagram? Like if you're just trying to enjoy it. I'll give you some examples. I love the home renovation stuff. Oh my gosh, some of these accounts, like I can consume that for a long time. And I love the curly hair accounts. I love learning. Okay, kitten videos. Oh my gosh, yes, like totally. We've got the dog mom videos, puppies. Oh my word, yes. Like I'm telling you, these people who totally like are into the dogs and they capitalize that on their Instagram, you can totally do that. Coffee and tea videos. Oh my gosh, see, like there's so many things. So think about what you like consuming and go and learn from that niche. That's what I did with the Curly Girl community. I went and I saw that they were sharing each other's videos. These curly girls were tagging each other when they learned something. So I thought, okay, well, I learned something from her. I'm going to share her stuff. And I tagged her. And that's networking. So it takes you outside of the Beachbody world and helps you connect and network with other people, because social media wants us to be social. Okay. So it can't just be what you put out there. How can you build other people up and even collaborate? So I started to watch these other influencers and I saw what they were doing. I saw how they would come up with these fun little things and they would tag other curly hair girls. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to come up with a fun thing and tag these girls and see if they participate with it. And that's how you can slowly grow. It's all about give and take with other people and recognizing their work. And hopefully, as you put out value content, people are going to start sharing your things. And that slowly started to happen. I remember the first time somebody took one of my things and shared it as, oh my goodness, this girl's hair tutorial was so helpful. And so look at how the influencers in your niche or the things you're interested in and maybe you have knowledge about, how do they share? How do they collaborate? How can you maybe find influencers in your bracket? So say you have 1,000 followers, find a similar Instagram account of something like, oh, that interests me. I would love to maybe build my page that way, and just see how she does it. And maybe even message and say, oh my gosh, I love your page. I've learned so much from you. I'd love to collaborate sometime. You can do giveaways with other people. You can, I mean, there's just so many fun things. You can do lives with other people. Instagram loves it when you use everything it has to offer. Okay. So posting, reels, Insta stories, you should be doing at the very least 4 stories a day. Like that's the minimum. Guys, okay, 4 stories a day, 15 seconds per story. How much time does that take? Okay, it might take you a little bit more to add the captions, but really only takes a few minutes. You can do that. Stories are where we connect with people. It's where they see that we're human. And I'm going to tell you this, do not re-record your stories. Every once in a while I do if like something really goes bad, but like put it out there and be real. Let them see the bloopers and the messy and all of that stuff. That's what stories for that connection. And for people to get to know you and feel like, oh my gosh, I know her. We're like best friends now. And it might feel awkward at first, especially if you don't do stories, but you'll get better at it. You'll figure it out. And I know a lot of my coaches are like, well, I'm not that interesting. I don't have things to story about, guys. I do stories about like the most random stuff. I ask people the most random questions. People love sharing their opinions. So like, if you can get people to share their opinion, you know, you're going to be golden. Don't share just your workout. I'm going to be honest. That's boring. Okay. It's boring. If you are sharing your workouts, why are you sharing them? You have to have a purpose. You really do with that. Are you showing people what's possible? Are you sharing your story during your workout clips? Are you showing them how you've overcome? Are you sharing how easy it was because all you had to do was this? Are you showing them how you got from here to there? In your workout clip, you could even put your before and after, copy and paste it up there so that they see how far you've come. There's so many different ways we can use stories. I'm like all over the place tonight because I did not have a chance to write down notes like I was planning to with everything that happened this week. So if you need to like stop me for a second, let me know. I did want to share this. And it's something that's helped me, and I know it's helped my coaches. There are 3 main types of posts, okay? And you can even think about this in your stories as well. 3 main types of posts that you put up, and you should have at least one of these every single week. So the first one is a value post, all right? A value post is something that teaches, that gives knowledge, that gives back, that encourages, you know, it's like recipes, tutorials, here's your workout of the day move, here's your value is something that you are pouring in and giving back to people that they can consume, that they can, you know, that's going to help them and benefit them. All right, so that's a value post. A viral post is something else that you should be doing every week. And you're like, well, I can't guarantee it's going to go viral. A viral post means something that people want to share. Okay, so maybe it's a funny reel. Guys, those funny reels, oh my gosh, I could like watch funny reels forever. Those are viral. If you can come up with one, and here's the thing with reels, guys, here's the thing with reels. You can copy what other people are doing and it's okay, like totally okay. So reels are a great way to be viral. You know those little posts where it's like a quote with white and it looks like a Twitter quote, or it's like a really nice quote. It's a quote that people will reshare because you see people resharing those really like good quotes all the time. That's a viral post, okay? That's something people will reshare, and you want to think about that. For me, viral posts often are even tutorials because I know people are going to reshare those typically, especially if it's something that really like is helpful, that people are struggling with in my niche. And then the last one is a vulnerable post. So vulnerable is where we share how we've overcome. Guys, you can share the hard, but I want you to think about this. Nobody wants just a sad story. I hate to say it, but like there has to be a point behind it. Nobody wants to know that you had the worst day ever, okay? We want to know how you overcame. And even if you haven't reached that, like you haven't overcome completely, or maybe you're struggling still, let people know that they are not alone. Okay, that's what a vulnerable post is. This is where we share our transformations even. This is where we share how coaching has literally transformed and changed our lives. This is where we share where we were and where we are, where we were, where we are, and where we're going. Okay, those are vulnerable posts, and those are where you reach into the heart, where other people will be able to say, oh my gosh, I see myself in your story. Oh my gosh, I am there right now. Oh, I want to, do that. So those are the three. Honestly, if I can get those 3 posts up in a week, I'm like, whew, thank you, Jesus. I have done something. Okay. Like seriously. Those are, that's just how I try and think. And it helps me even come up with ideas. It helps me plan, and it helps me simplify it as well. And then I want to come back to Reel. How many of you have done a Reel on Instagram? Raise your hand. If you want to grow your Instagram, you have to do a Reel. That's what Instagram wants right now. I don't know. My coaches were scared to death. And one of my coaches, she's like, I'm going to learn this. She's like this cute little Southern thing. And she's just all talking. She's like, I am going to learn these. I am going to do Reels. She just had a Reel go viral. And it was just a simple one that she copied that she saw. She has over 3 million views. She gained over, I think, 3,000 followers. And they're people who she's connecting with and helping now. Okay. I have had Reels go viral. I think, oh my gosh, one of them, I literally, my daughter, Evelyn, I'm going to say this, my daughter's in here, and she's like, Mom, that is so cringy. She's like, Mom, that is cringy. The stupid Reel went viral, okay? It has like 500,000 views, and I ended up with tons of followers from it, and it was cringy, like by a teenager's standards. And it was stupid, but like, you just never know. But I thought it was funny, and so, my people think it's funny too. You just never know. And you know what? It's going to be, my first Reels are a mess, complete mess. And honestly, some of my ones recently are just as messy. It's really okay. There are so many simple tutorials out there of how to put together a Reel too. If you don't know how, you get to be the CEO of your business and figure it out. Because I'm telling you, Instagram does not pay you the bills, but it is the first step in your funnel for bringing people in. And that's how we connect. That's how we get people into our funnel, that first step. And you got to be collecting people, like it's raining. I was trying to come up with something, but I don't know. But yeah, you want to keep collecting people. It's not about huge growth. It's about steady growth and having new eyes on your content. And then it's about adding value to those people's lives. Because what's the point of having followers if you're not now adding value to those people's lives? And, people are going to be fickle. You're going to have people unfollow you all the time. Guys, I have hundreds of people unfollow me all the time. And it's okay. Flex and release and move on and keep serving the people that are in front of you. I heard the most amazing quote, and I'm going to get it all wrong, but it was like, if you have 30 people that follow you on Instagram, that's a room full of people. Like, let that sink in for a minute. If you have 30 people watching your stories, that's 30 people. If they were sitting in your living room, that is a whole lot of people. If you have 100 people watching your stories, we are starting to fill up a small, auditorium. If you have 300 people, guys, if you have 1,000 people that follow you on Instagram, that is like, and the growth from there, don't forget the people you have. Sometimes I get so caught up in, oh my gosh, I haven't been growing, I haven't been adding followers, and I'm like, hold the phone, girl. You have people right in front of you that watch your stories every day, that see your posts every day, that you get to serve, that you get to help, that you get to entertain, that you get to encourage, that you get to love on. Serve those people well. And when you do that, and when you show up consistently, and I'm going to tell you this too, we do not have to live on on social media. And I'm trying to be better at this because I'm like, I get all sucked into it and I'm trying to take one day off, 24 hours, just let it ride. It's okay. But you can only do that. And I'm going to be real honest. You can only do that if you show up those other 6 days. Okay. Show up consistently. Let people know you're taking a break, step away, have that time, and then come back refreshed and pour into people's lives. I truly believe that this is my passion and calling, that I have an opportunity to do so much good in people's lives. And I can't not show up. I can't. It is my platform. These people are just worth it. And you've got to have that passion burning in your belly every single day, that you have the ability to transform and change lives every single day. And it might be through a stupid reel that you put up that a few people end up coming and following your page because of that. They see you in your stories, showing up and sharing your transformation and how you have overcome. And they're like, oh my gosh, I need that too. Let me just tell you, when I switched over to like going curly girl, I was so scared because it's not how other coaches run their page. It's just not. I see other coaches who, you know, are rocking this business, and I'm going to be honest, I am rocking this business. Okay. And it might be my own version of it, but last year we hit Premier, and this income has totally, like, this is what I do. This is, my husband has been able to work part-time, mostly to pay for my children's schooling that got very expensive. But even then, like, it's amazing. It's amazing what God has done with this business and how it's provided for us, and how, you know, an income disclaimer here, because I know that we need to put it, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of, but how great is the income disclaimer? Like, if you work and you show up, the sky is the limit for you. Doesn't matter where you're placed in your upline's business, because I am placed in a really bad spot. But you know what? I was determined to make that a really good spot. And we have an incredible privilege and opportunity to serve people and change lives. Have you gotten a message yet from someone where they said, because of you, and it hit you about the awesome responsibility we have? So you know what? Show up. Commit to show up every single day. You have to take a day off. They have to, you know, your life goes crazy and things happen. Like, we all went through crazy last year, am I right? But like, show up, because people are they're still in a hard place. People need this. Believe that they do. They do. Did you need this? Sometimes it's like we got to go back to where we were when we started, when it all began and we were in that low place. Are you like, do you remember those feelings? You've got to help someone. You've got to be the light, be the person they know, love, and trust. That when they're like, oh, I need to do it, they come to you because you've been showing up. Ooh, I hope that was helpful. Does anybody have any questions? I see the chat and I didn't even look at it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, trying to see if you guys have any questions. You can totally unmute if you have any questions. I would love to answer them.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I know you have a lot of followers, and I kind of always wondered this, funny enough, with you. So I know we talk about like cold invites and stuff, but you speak a lot about connecting with people. And I feel like sometimes I worry about connecting too much, and not in a bad way. It's just kind of like, well, how am I going to invite you to do this only if you're watching me? Then it's only you having a connection with me. I don't have one with you. Like, does that kind of make sense? Like, how do you go about inviting them to this when they've already followed you and all that?
So I'll be honest. And it's taken me a while to get here. I used to do, you know, messages more, but I honestly don't have to anymore. I will put invites in my stories. At the beginning of the month, my focus is to hit Success Club 10. And I tell my coaches this, I will invite until I hit that. Like, I will invite as many times as I absolutely need to in my stories, on my Facebook page or my Instagram page, my Facebook page. I always do a transformation post at the beginning of the month on my Instagram page. Always, always, always. And I always have some kind of transformation post and my story in my 9 squares on Instagram. If you go, you'll see I have 2 before and afters that are right there when you look. And I will share some vulnerable, about my journey. And then I'm inviting my stories, and I'm sharing my team's transformations. I'm sharing my story consistently. I am literally inviting to my virtual gym every single day. Even today, I did a swipe up. If you don't have a swipe up, you tell people where to go. You tell people to vote. You ask them to DM you. You show them how to go to the link in your bio. You give them every opportunity. And you have to ask people and tell people over and over and over. But if you are showing up and you're showing them what's possible, and you're showing them the community and how easy it is and how they can overcome, it takes time, but people are going to be ready. I just had a girl message me today. I have been literally messaging back and forth with her. She's been asking me about my virtual gym for probably 6 months. And today, out of the blue, she's like, I'm ready. I filled out the form. Let's do this. Ready to go. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And that happens, but it's like, I never, I don't count people out. So anybody that's ever asked for more information or said they were interested in my virtual gym, they are on my list, and I will follow up with them until they say yes. I just will. I see a question down there. Are you using Google Doc to get info? So I use the Google Forms to collect info from people. And anybody who's ever interested, I have them fill out my Google Form questionnaire, which is in the link in my bio. So you can kind of see the questions that I ask. And so I always have that. I always have that Google Form every month. If I need people, I just go through there first. If I really have no one that's saying yes, if I'm like, oh, I got to find people, I go through that first, because those people have told me at some point in time. And once they've moved to my next list, then I delete them off that form, because I move them to my virtual gym girl list. And I have another form for that when they sign up. So then I know, okay, that person, but if they're still in that first Google form, I follow up with them until they say yes. And that's what I do. I put out the new invites first in my stories at the beginning of the month. New invites. So I tackle those people first. People who might, be new to me, they haven't seen my stuff yet, or maybe they've been watching for a while and they're ready to vote and say, yes, I need this. Yes, I want more info. Don't ever give people a negative vote either. Always give them a positive vote, 2 positives. Yes, I want more info. I'm curious. I need more deets. Okay, see that? I gave them 2 positive voting options. So I will follow up with all the people that vote. And you know what I love? Okay, guys, you're going to have those people who are like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to vote. It was an accident. That person, I'm going to have a nice long chat with them. No worries, girl. Oh my word. It's totally okay. I do that all the time. How are you? And I just love on them right there. It is a conversation, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, no worries, and just ignore them. I'll be like, no problem at all. Oh my gosh. Are you on a health journey? Why not ask them that? They know what you do if they're watching your stories and accidentally voted. And they might tell you they're already doing this, or sometimes they'll be like, well, maybe if I'll join you again. I had one girl who was like, I didn't mean to vote at all. And I'm like, oh, you want me to tell you more? Like, eventually that's how our conversation went. She signed up with a job spec. You just never know. Don't ever count those people out. You love on them no matter what. You can even offer those people, oh my gosh, you want some free workouts? I can totally give you some. Guys, we have so many free workouts on Vimeo. Like, throw them value every chance you get and put them on your list. Does that help? I'm sorry. I totally went off on a tangent there. Any more questions? I love this. Do you see how much fun it is? Like, Instagram's so much fun. And I tell my people too, they're like, well, people don't really vote. I'm like, teach them how to vote. You need to. I didn't have people voting at first either. And I told my people in my stories, hey, I need you to vote. This is no fun if nobody votes. Okay, now go back, you tap back and you vote. And do the stupid stuff first. People, this is the thing, I always get more votes on the stupid stuff, okay? But you have to train people how to vote in your stories. And you might only get 1 or 2 for your virtual gym stuff. That's 1 or 2 people, am I right? Like that, you've gotta recognize one person. That's where it starts. You only help one person at a time. If one person votes, you are gonna love on that person and add value to their life until they say yes.
Danielle, you mentioned something about the 9 on your Instagram. What was that you said something about before? I missed it. My kids were talking.
No problem. Okay, so and actually I need to update mine. I'll have to do a transformation post too. So in your square, so that's the 9. All right. And so you can actually see I do have, that's a before and after, and this is a before and after transformation. And actually down here, I have this one. I'm going to need to do another one like that. I always look at my grid and kind of gives me an idea. So I'm going to do one, some kind of before and after transformation next week so that I get another one up in my grid. Because I want people, when they come to my page, I want them to see that I'm about hair, but I want them to see at least one little post about, you know, my transformation journey. Yeah, I want them to see that right off the bat. Because most
Thank you.
people, like, they'll see my reel and then they'll come to my page and then they'll see those transformation posts. So definitely have that somewhere. And I don't think it's too much. It takes people a long time to say yes. I would say always have some kind of before and after picture in your 9 squares. And you can, you know, totally change what part of your story that you share, you know, or you can change the angle of the pictures, or do just your face, or do, you know, a sideway profile. There's so many different ways. It doesn't have to be the same thing over and over. Yeah. Any more questions? I love it.
Hey, look, I'm back. Am I
Hey,
not frozen?
woohoo!
Man, I love your calls. I love your energy. It's just, it's so fun, right? I mean, and this is supposed to be fun, right? Like when you're building a kick-ass business, helping other people change their lives, how can it not be fun? So, man, I love the what you shared. Hopefully, it record adequately with me bouncing in and out of the deal. Everybody jump over there. Tell everybody your Instagram again, so they can follow you.
Curly Fit Mom.
All right, Curly Fit Mom. All right. So thank you so much. And you know, if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay.
I know. I need to get you on a call. I have been a mess. Just be honest. But yeah, I'll definitely reach out to you. And guys, seriously, if you message me right now, my inbox is so, like, I can't even keep up with it because of all that happened this week. People are wonderful. But if you do message me, let me know that this is where we chatted. I am so happy to help you. It might take me a few days to get to it, but I love helping. If you have questions, if you actually, maybe on Facebook, I'll see that message sooner, because I have like 99 wonderful people who have messaged me about my son in my others folder, and I have not even touched it yet. So yeah, you can totally throw me a message on Facebook. I am so happy to just help. I love it. I love it. I think we should, you're right, have fun with this, because it is fun, right? It's fun what we get to do. It's fun to help people and change, be a part of their transformation. What an honor. So anyway, okay, guys.
All right. So guys, thank you very much for being on the call. Don't forget that salted caramel is out, and it's going to sell out. It always does. So make sure that you get yours, and you know that you're passing that on down to your downline too. So thank you everybody for being on the call, and we'll see you on the boards.